Mhm. 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 Okay, I guess everything was cleared. That's why no one is asking any questions. Then let's start. I think yesterday we were discussing the test plan document, correct?
Yes.
The, we had completed, I guess, the entry and exit criteria entirely. Nothing was left. That also. Yes, suspension was also done, but now I think we had to start with tools discussion today, correct?
Yes.
So whenever you do use any kind of, I mean, while you are going through the testing itself, the testing phase, there are various tools that are required in order to help you in your testing journey. So there are few basic tools that are required for manual testing also. And without those kind of tools, you won't be able to do the manual testing effectively. So let's start our discussion about those tools. First of all, the most important tool would be a bug tracking software. What exactly do we mean by that? A bug tracking software, you can say, is something in which we can try, not try, in which we can raise issues or we can raise bugs. And why is it so important? Because whenever or during the test case execution, you have to create multiple issues, okay? And you need to track each individual issue. There might be some issues that are very critical. There might be some issues that might not be very critical. And even if you don't fix them, they can be left. And I mean, keeping those issues still, on the platform, and we can even release while these issues are still on our platform. Reason being, because they might not be present in our critical functionality. So they might not disturb the day-to-day operation of our software. But if we try to fix it, it might be a huge architectural change or a huge change in the code base of that software. So the product manager and the development team might decide that this issue is a very low impact issue. So, and the changes required to fix that issue in comparison is very huge. So it's rather beneficial for us to keep that issue still active on our platform rather than to fix it, because fixing it would require architectural change, or you can say the basic framework of that software that we are developing, it needs to be changed in order to just fix that issue. So, and there might be some issues that needs to be fixed urgently because they are impacting very critical functionality of our application, and without fixing that functionality we cannot release. Like suppose if there is a logout functionality in our website and that logout functionality is not working, so that is a very critical functionality of our e-commerce platform, and we need to fix it before releasing, or else the user experience won't be good and there would be security issues as well. So that needs to be fixed. Okay. Now, suppose you have raised around, suppose that the entire testing team has raised around 500 issues. So these 500 issues, it's quite tough just to maintain those, I mean, keep track of those 500 issues on an individual level. Suppose if you write a mail that in which you mention all the 500 issues and the developers are updating their statuses one by one. So just imagine that they would be reverting to that mail 500 times by updating the status of each and every mail. It's just the developers that's gonna revert 500 times. After that, you have to confirm whether those issues are fixed or not and verify it. So you'll have to reply on that mail as well. First, the developer is gonna reply that, okay, I've fixed the logout functionality, the issue number one that you created. Now you, as soon as he reverts on that mail, now you guys have to just go ahead and test that issue and revert on that mail, okay, this issue has been fixed or this issue has not been fixed. So you can imagine how complex it would be to maintain the status of that bugs over the email. It's very complicated. That's why we use bug tracking tool, and we'll be discussing it at a later point of time in details. And I'll also show you how exactly does it work. I'll give you an example as well. So that's why bug tracking tool is one of the most crucial part. Second, mind map tool. They are not compulsory. Mind map tools generally they helps you to map the requirement with their respective functionality or the respective bug to that respective functionality, just to give an idea which module or which functionality has how many issues. Most of the companies don't use map tool, and for some this feature is integrated in the bug tracking tool itself. Okay, the next would be snipping screenshot tool. So what exactly is this snipping screenshot tool? It's the tool that helps you capture the screenshot. Whenever you try to raise an issue, you need to have some proof that you need to attach with the issues just to make sure. that when the developers try to fix it, they can't just deny that no, this issue never existed. So you need to take a screenshot and attach that screenshot with the issue itself to make sure that yes, developers can see that when at the time when you were testing that functionality, the issue was there. Even though when he's trying to fix, he's not able to replicate. Now, the next tool that is required is Word and Excel documents. Whatever test cases that we write or the test plan, generally they are test plan is written in words and the our test cases are written in Excel. So they are also required. Now, risk and mitigation. So let us discuss the risks first. Risk, non-availability of a resource. Mitigation, backup resource planning. So while you are writing the test document, there are certain risks associated while we are developing the software or while we are testing the softwares. So before the testing or development begins, it is the job of the testing manager to identify whatever risk they might be facing during the entire STLC journey. And once they have identified all the risks, now they need to mitigate. And what do we mean by mitigation? It basically refers to how we would be tackling that risk. As soon as that risk is available, how exactly we need to tackle that risk. So our testing process is not hampered. So one of the major risk is non-availability of resources. Suppose you are working in a company and you do have any kind of family emergency for which you need to take a leave of 1 week. Now, the company cannot deny your leaves on a ground that no, there is a critical release, so I can't just let you go on a vacation because you had a family emergency and you need to go. So, how exactly would they mitigate this risk? So, they'll have some additional testers in backup just to make sure that if anyone from the core testing team itself is on leave, they can just give that tester or introduce that backup tester to the team itself and he'll be working for 5 days until you join back. Okay. Second, build URL is not working. And how do we mitigate it? Resources will work on the other task. So there is high possibilities that during development phase itself, the URL in which the website is hosted, it might not be working. Reason could be any faulty code that the developers might have uploaded, any limitations from the server end, or any due to any reasons. If the website is not working, then the testing team does not have anything to test, neither the development team has any dev environment to write their code and run on. So what exactly would they be doing? Because they'll just be sitting idle. And if resources are sitting idle, then it's a waste of money. It's a waste of clients' money. Because even if someone is sitting in the company, they had to be paid for that. So generally what companies do, they do have some other works aligned or other tasks aligned for their teams just to make sure that they are occupied. So suppose that while you were testing, the website went down due to faulty codes that were uploaded by the developers in a bug fix recently. for a bug fix recently. Now, this testing manager might tell you that, okay, guys, you can just go ahead and revisit all your scenarios and make sure that there is no test cases left in those scenarios. Or he can assign you any other task. Suppose that, yes, there might be some other projects that are in the pipeline or any second iterations of that same software that we need to work on. So the testing lead might tell you that you guys go ahead and start working on that test cases or test plan. So this is how we mitigate the risk when the URL is not working. Next, less time for testing. Mitigation. Ramp up the resource based on the client's need dynamically. Yes, this is the main issue that testing team faces. The I as a tester can personally vouch for it. Being a tester and associated with the IT industry for more than 10 years, I can vouch for it. That te testers or the testing team never gets uh, never gets right amount of time. We are even if we during the planning phase, we already gave the developers or the product manager that we need at least a week for the testing. Then also we won't be getting that 1 week of testing. During our 1 week, the development might still continue, and we need to raise issues during that 1 week while the development is still going on, and those issues needs to be fixed and retested. So there is always a shortage of testing for testing time. Now, there are few ways with which we can mitigate the risk. One way is ramp up the resource based on the client's need. We can ramp up resources, but as soon as we try to ramp up the resources, the cost is gonna increase. So we need to take the client's approval before ramping up the resources. So this mitigation is not always possible. Okay. Now, we are done with the risk and mitigation strategies. Now, the last and final part, approvals. The team will send different type of documents for client approval. And here are few documents. First, the test plan that we were discussing from yesterday itself, and that we are discussing right now also. We need to send the test plan. As soon as we create the test plan, we will be sending it to our client or the product owner, just to make sure that he is aware of every aspect of our SDLC life cycle. And if he wants any kind of changes in that, then they can recommend it and we'll incorporate those changes. Second would be the test scenario document. Now, it is also one of the crucial part, because we need to develop what are the we need to figure out what are the scenarios that we will be testing. Because if we figure out all these scenarios, then half the battle is already won. Okay. Second, once we are done with the test case scenario, we start working on the test cases also. And after we are done with the test case completion, we send the test cases for client's approval or the product owner's approval. Once the test cases are approved and the development phase is complete, then we start testing our software. And as soon as the testing is complete, we prepare a final report that okay, these many issues were raised by the QA. These are the number of issues that were fixed by the developers, and these are existing issues in our platform. Now, we'll send that report to the product owner, and they'll go through that report, and they'll give us either their approval, or they might ask us to reduce the number of existing issues, or if they need any kind of or they need any other changes, they'll just recommend it. If not, the report is approved and the testing phase is complete. Okay, so this is what are various approvals that we need. Now, any doubts up until now regarding anything that I've explained?
I have a question regarding the mitigation.
Sure, go ahead, Deepan.
It's like backup resources planning. Is that for the employee management or for the data backup resources?
You are talking about the
Mitigation.
yes, the mitigation of non-availability of a resource mitigation would be backup resource planning.
It's not
Hello?
like data backup, right?
No, no, not the data backup.
Okay.
What here it means is that we all are humans, correct? So during the development cycle itself, someone might take leave due to personal emergencies or unavoidable circumstances, correct? There are
Yes.
chances, but the deadline, they are quite strict.
Mm-hmm.
The customers would say that yes, you need to deliver this product after 2 months, and I don't want to hear any excuses. If the resource was not well, it's the responsibility of the company, the company
Yes.
that was given the contract to develop the software. So they need to figure out a backup resource or find out a backup resource that they can utilize in place of that person. Or they might have to tell the other team members to distribute the workload that was on that specific person among themselves and work on it. Okay, so they need to prepare and plan for that backup resource. They'll just go ahead and plan it. Like, okay, if anyone takes a leave, we can just include our backup tester here or our backup developer here. Or yes, if anyone takes leave or if anyone is not present, we can just distribute the workload amongst the existing members. They can take a call depending upon the situation and client's budget. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, uh, is your doubt resolved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
No, no other questions from my side.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, I just got a message from the smart scaler that we need to join on a new Zoom link, I guess. They might have created with they might have created a Zoom link that was not premium or something like that. So just go ahead and check your emails. Did you receive a new Zoom link? Okay, the new joining link was sent by mistake. Mm, just give me a minute. Let me just clarify it with Smart Scaler first. I'll let you know. Okay. Oh, sorry for the interruption. The link that was sent for today's class was from a non-premium account, I'm informed. So due to that, the meeting's gonna end after, I guess, 5 minutes. So as soon as the meeting ends, you need to go to your inbox, email inbox. There you would find a new Zoom link account. Okay? You need to join on that link itself. Then, am I clear?
Yes, I see there's a new link sent at 9:20.
Yes. So just wait for 5 minutes. We'll continue our discussion here only for 5 more minutes. As soon as the meeting ends, then join that Zoom link. Now, any doubts? Any more doubts that any one of you might have? I guess all of you are silent, then I can assume that everything you guys are able to understand now. Correct?
Yes, actually, I was talking and I'm on mute. So, yeah, I don't have any doubts from my side.
Okay, and Rajan and Raj, I guess they also don't have any doubts as they are not speaking.
I'm good.
Okay, so now let us move towards our next topic. Any guesses what would be our next topic? That would be test scenario. Test scenario preparation. That is what we need to do, and we'll discuss it in detail. So, first, I hope you guys do remember what exactly is test scenario. Sorry for that. Okay, there is only 3 minutes left, I guess. Let's go ahead and join the new link. Everyone, join the new link, please.
Okay.